How's it going, trainers? We've got an Exeggutor EX Tauros brew that I played to a top 64 finish in one of the community tournaments out of over 400 players. I think this deck list occupies a really sweet spot in the metagame. Exeggutor EX is one of the most fantastic characters to lead on against the aggressive decks in the format. It's phenomenal against these fighting decks that are on the rise, and it's really good against Pikachu, especially when we combined its hefty HP pool with 2 copies of Erica. Tauros is another card I've been absolutely loving. In tandem with our 2 copies of Giovanni, it clears out Mew EX and Celebi and opposing copies of Pikachu in one go, and also allows you to clean up things like Mewtwo that have been injured a little bit by our eggs. This deck list has a ton of play and decision making inside of the games where you'll be using it, as you're going to see in these best of 3 matches against Celebi, the fighting matchup, and Mewtwo. If you enjoy this more focused tournament gameplay, I would love to hear it in the comments down below, and make sure you smash that like button as well for the rest of the day. Enjoy. All right, first to Exeggutor EX is a big deal in this matchup, and then past that, Tauros is our most important card. All right, we have the Tauros to open here at least. Let's see if they open on egg. This is 50% to find us a basic egg. There's 4 basics left in my deck. Power up the Tauros in the back line. Opponent's utility cards are 2 Sabrina, 1 Leaf, 2 Erica. Noteworthy, they only have 1 copy of Pokeball is an interesting choice. Oh, weird. They're also only playing 1 Celebi. The Pokeball obviously can't be a budget choice, but I wonder if no Celebi's a budget choice? I don't know. Exeggutor's probably the better card in their deck anyways. Celebi's kind of mid. It's not a terrible draw. Get to do this. Get to do this. Pass the turn. With 2 copies of Sabrina, I think I want to play my Exeggutor EX out here. I already attached my energy. Yeah. Okay, just crack them for 120 here. They could, like, technically Leaf plus hit 2 heads on Celebi, but that seems not great for them. Happy to put up Exeggutor here. They have no potions and they can't Erica after they Sabrina, so this seems good for us, yeah? There was a Celebi deck that topped Ursi's tournament that only had 1 Celebi in it, so it could be a conscious choice. Interesting. I think I'm going to go ahead and use my Erica this turn. So that way, they can't high roll me with this. I don't think I'm playing Mew out. Maybe I am, actually, because if they Sabrina me next turn... Do I want to play the other Exeggutor out, actually? Maybe I just play the other Exeggutor out. Because they are on 1 knockout point. So if they, like, Sabrina me, I don't want to put the Tauros up, because Tauros is really good against Celebi. I don't want to risk it getting knocked out. Ten cards in my deck, 2 copies of Giovanni among them. For folks in chat, I'm a little bit less attentive to messages while we're playing in tournament rounds, just trying to focus up here. I think we want to leaf to the Tauros. And then if they have Erica and clear our Tauros, I can still clear them with an Exeggutor heads on the backswing. This can always attack for just one more energy. I think I'm going to get the Mew going. It could be right to go into the baby Exeggutor, so that way if I top deck Giovanni and they clear this, it gives me, pulling into the baby Exeggutor would give me more draws at Giovanni, so perhaps that's correct. Because they would on average not knock this out, and then I would get 2 draws at a Giovanni, 1 clear and Tauros, as opposed to a coin flip. What's more likely, a heads flip on the Exeggutor, or drawing Giovanni in 2 cards? I think a heads flip on the Exeggutor is more likely. Population size 9, 2 hits, sample size 2. Yeah, I'm only 40. Nice card. Yeah, it's actually only 41% to draw the Giovanni. So I think it's right to play Tauros into the Exeggutor heads here, assuming they knock this out, because that's 50-50 as opposed to 41%. Eggs? Eggs? Well, there's one. 2 draws at 3 Exeggutors. I actually don't want to play any of these basics out because 1, they can't knock me out next turn, and 2, if I play the basics out, they could tempo Sabrina me, and then if I draw Exeggutor, we wouldn't get to attack next turn. We know our opponent's not playing red cards, so we just chill here on these basics, so that way Sabrina can't take away our egg attack if we hit the Exeggutor. We have 3 eggs and 2 professor's researches, so 5 out of 13 to find an Exeggutor next turn, basically. I am going to both Sabrina them for tempo and X speed my execute to the bench, I think. Did anyone see the 1 Mewtwo EX Alakazam deck that did well in Ursi's tournament? Everybody that watched the meta report this week saw that deck. It's your singular best source for constant metagame updates in Pokemon Pocket. Make sure you watch it every Sunday or Monday when it releases. They do notably have 1 copy of the new Exeggutor in their deck that deals damage based on how much energy your opponent has, and it notably isn't an EX, which makes Tauros a bit worse. Good gravy. I'm gonna put an energy on the egg, so I have the flexibility to retreat Mew and put an Exeggutor up and attack with it next turn. One of their 2 copies of Sabrina. So this is Exeggutor plus Superior then? Yeah. Alright, we're gonna need 1 heads over 2 flips in order to clear this out. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to Giovanni this turn, actually. Yeah, I think I messed up here. Yeah, I messed this up. I shouldn't have researched when I drew the Exeggutor. I should have Giovanni'd this turn so I could Erica next turn. This was a mistake, and it's likely going to cost me because their Celebi is charged up and ready to go. I'm gonna need a low roll on their Celebi because of my mistake. Hey, Leo, thanks for hanging out. Yeah. Yeah, if I would have played better, maybe we're just gonna brick on our heads so it doesn't matter. But if I hit heads here, this could have been at 110 if I would have geoed last turn. Okay, we bricked on the heads and it did better. But it's worth noting that oh, they have first energy advantage and I don't have an execute. Our openers have been really scuffed in this tournament. Yeah, might be a quick one. See how good or bad their draw is. Gotta check them out. They're having a sale now through January 5th. They got a lot of awesome, colorful designs like this one up on their site. They notably only have 1 copy of Leaf in their deck, which they don't have here, so that's very good for us. But the rest of this is like all bad. I'm not. Maybe if this hits 2 basics, we have a shot. This is karma letting me know that I should never wake up at 6 a.m. to play a Pokemon Pocket Tournament ever again. Just big variance gods being like, you've made poor choices today and you're going to have bad beats for making poor choices. 9 cards into my deck. All right, maybe they'll make up for the variance by flipping tails 2 turns in a row. I'm gonna draw an Exeggutor here, and they're gonna hit 2 tails in a row. Execute. I'm gonna draw this guy. They're gonna hit double tails. Does Giovanni do anything here? Giovanni lets me deal 130, which means if they Erica, my heads on Exeggutor EX still knocks them out. So I think I want to Giovanni. So that way, if they Erica, I can do this next turn and flip heads and clear them still. And I think it's worth playing this out a little aggressively because I want to be able to like research next turn if we draw it. How long do I plan on streaming for today? Depends on what viewer counts look like. If we break 1,000 people on Twitch and it's 600 or 700 on YouTube, probably for a little while. It's hard to predict what metrics are going to be like on holidays, though. Come on, Tails. So many things broke bad for us. Give us a second, Tails. Man. All right. Could we hit heads to have a real shot? We have a real shot if we hit heads. The brutal mishmash of variants this round. Game is still winnable. If they brick for a little while, it could be winnable. You are correct. Them missing on their stage 1 first Ivy is very good for us. This coin flip doesn't matter, so naturally we'll hit heads. Someone asked, is 6 a.m. your normal streaming schedule? It is not. Normally I go live about an hour from now. Usually sometime about 9 a.m. Central. I go for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, depending on the day. I already burned my Sabrina, so that's not an out to win next turn, but this psychic attack notably only does 100 here. And I have Mew insulated against Tauros. They only have 1 knockout point, so I'm simply not going to... do anything this turn, because next turn I can leaf into genome hacking and clear this for my last point. And if I leaf into this, they could kill this and I don't have a way to get it back out, so. They can't leave this Exeggutor up. Or they're dead. I can't believe we won this game. What a just wild pile of variants that we were able to slog through. Holy. I would like to hack this egg tree, please. 1 boop on the snoot. That'll do, pig. That'll do. We do want to go first here. Actually, it's kind of an interesting dynamic. Both of these decks kind of want to be going first. Don't say that, Jeff. Think of the future sponsors. Gaming chair sponsors are actually ones I've turned down a number of times. I was really happy to be able to form a partnership with FlexiSpot, who makes quality office equipment as opposed to cheap, crappy gaming chairs. This is exactly the start we're looking for here. We have a leaf to get this egg up front. Notably, our opponent is playing 2 copies of Sabrina, so they could force up one of our eggs. They do not, so we should be pretty good here. If they hit on this Focus Fist, it'll be noteworthy that the Tauros will die to a stretch kick from the Hitmonlee later. Swing and a miss. This is 50 damage on a heads, otherwise it does nothing. We have Leaf. We have Exeggutor. We have a Grass Energy. We hopefully have a KO'd Mankey. They get to build up Mars Shadow now, but I do have 2 copies of Erica here to insulate at least. Our Tauros is essentially a brick in this matchup. We want to put an energy on here for another Exeggutor, and then we want to draw Mew to start powering that up, which is okay. Open deck list, common in TCG. So open deck list is common in online tournaments because if deck lists aren't open, it makes people who are streaming like myself be at a pretty strict disadvantage because your deck list is known and other people's aren't. So it's a way to encourage people to make content surrounding the tournaments without feeling punished for doing so. The BM heads against us when we don't need it is sad. Okay, so they get to revenge here. We'll see if we can manage to hit heads on the next one. We'll have an Erica to put this back up to 110 at least. Sorry, I say 110, I meant 100. Giovanni here makes sense because it means a 50 clears us next turn. We thankfully have the other Erica, so that's not the case. I think I want to put an extra energy on here to give me flexibility to retreat later, potentially. I'm already down a copy of Leaf. Aerodactyl could actually be pretty good against us early if it happens before our Exeggutor gets going. Do they have their second copy of Primeape here is question number one. Doesn't look like it. I'm gonna start kicking up my my back one here. Yep. I'll put an energy on here now to give myself some flexibility. Let's see if we can finally hit a heads when it matters. Coolio. And they can't just put in Marshadow here and take the knockout because they have no points, they have no potions, they have no blue, and I have a second Exeggutor lined up ready to go. Opponent just taking the, I'm gonna get some knockout points on my way to retreating here. So we'll take our third, and we'll be heading into game 2. Opponent was probably supposed to hope for Mankey low roll and then move to Arrow. Yeah, probably, but it seems pretty unlikely considering they're on 0 knockout points. They'd have to have Aerodactyl solo both my eggs. Good for that fast eggs to begin the ranch round again. Although I guess it's worth noting their Primeape, their Mankey on a heads can scramble our egg. I wonder if it's actually optimal to have to lead on a Tauros or a Mew here and then switch into the egg. So you don't have to, you don't have to have that chance. Not that we're being given the option leading on Tauros every time. So a very minor thing, but research and Pokeball sequencing here. When you're looking for explicitly a specific basic Pokemon, you should research first because then there's more basics in your deck when you research. And because I already have the Exeggutor EX queued up here, I want to go ahead and give myself the best chance to find Execute. So our sequencing here is explicitly because we already had the Exeggutor in hand. If I was missing Exeggutor and Execute, I'd probably Pokeball first since I need one of each. It's kind of a wash. But because we're explicitly looking for the basic, it's better to research first here. At least by a nominal amount. We're hoping to draw one of our 2 copies of Leaf next turn. It's about 1 in 5, so that way we can switch the Tauros up and get attacking with the Exeggutor. Pokemon Pocket does not have energy cards. You have an energy zone that you get a guaranteed energy from every turn. Did you used to play Magic professionally? It depends on what you mean by professionally. I traveled to play in a lot of tournaments for a long time, but playing in tournaments doesn't really pay you much money. All right, let's open on research. Figure out where we're gonna go from here. No Leaf still is unfortunate. Definitely not playing out a second Tauros in this matchup. I think I evolved the egg that they kicked here. We'll slide an energy onto there. Our Leaf is a little better than 1 and 4 now to show up next turn. I think I played you at a Magic tournament in Atlanta. I played a lot of tournaments in Atlanta. Solid 10.5-hour drive here from Central Illinois. Did it too many times to count. I think we're probably Erica either way. I think this is energy here, Erica here, and then we pass back. Like I can only play one supporter, so I can't Leaf and Erica. So now we'll go ahead and Leaf the Tauros out and put the Exeggutor up. I think we put an energy here, and I'm gonna go ahead and play the Mew out. We're a ways off from attacking with it, but if they Sabrina us, which they have 2 of, I probably want to put Mew to the front. That head's a solid for us. You know, was I supposed to start building up the Mew, actually? Because the Tauros goes down in 1 to the Aerodactyl, and the Aerodactyl clears my Exeggutor through a copy of... I could have also been right to put the energy on here and retreat this without burning the Leaf, so I could use the Leaf to pull the Exeggutor out later, but... Gotta figure out what the line is from here now. I think the line is hit heads on this and hope to find another copy of Exeggutor next turn. Alright, I've got 2 Exeggutors and 4 cards. But they're also only 12 cards into their deck, so maybe they're missing on that. Interesting matchup dynamic for sure. Ton of back and forth and decisions on both sides. I think my poor decision making with Tauros is going to potentially cost us here. If I brick on the 50% to find an Exeggutor, we could put the Mew up to buy a turn. Hey, what's going on, Skybills? Yeah, I haven't been enjoying Pocket a lot. I haven't played either Sabrina yet, right? So I need both their Sabrinas to be in their bottom 7 cards. If this Mew had been ready to attack, if I hadn't wasted my energies here, I would have been able to clear the Marshadow, and then this would hit me, and then I'd have another round to draw the Exeggutor. But because because I misallocated my energies early, we don't have an out here. Man, I need to go back and check all 5 rounds, but I swear we've let on Tauros rather than Egg in, like, almost every match. Although I suppose against Primeape, not leading on Egg is probably ideal. Our Tauros is very bad in this matchup, but our Exeggutor is very good. For some basic Pokemon. Not finding any. Stuff bean. Maybe they'll brick as well. Narrator, never once. "66% to be an egg," says local man about to Pokeball a Mew. Call it a comeback. Honestly, I wonder if this energy is wrong. Feels like it's possible that I'm supposed to put the energy on the egg so that way if I drum you, I can build it up sooner. Oh my god, I can't evolve in the active spot. We just talked about this. The energy on the Tauros would have actually been useful here. Yeah, waking up at 6 a.m. to play this was probably a mistake. Both in terms of variance and my ability to play well. Need Arrow to bark like Cosmo to let you know it there. I mean, unironically, those little types of reminder things are one of the things that makes Marvel Snap really great. Marvel Snap does a phenomenal job of reminding you of those types of things. That's just really good interface / game design. If I wouldn't have messed up my sequencing here, this would be my second Exeggutor attack, and then we might have cleared this. Oh, man. And then this will be a Tails 2 to add insult to injury. Ooh, we got a heads. Alright, can we fade their second copy of Sabrina? If we fade the second copy of Sabrina, we could draw our EX Exeggutor and win the game. Maybe. Not a guarantee, but just have a shot. Okay, so we have to X speed here instead of Leaf because I can't die to the stretch kick next turn. So I need this above 30. Now I need to hit some heads in a row. I need to hit running heads here. I need to hit heads this turn and then hit heads again next turn. Oh, I guess I also need to fade their Sabrina 1 in 6 here, right? They didn't have Sabrina to win the game last turn. So they're 1 in 6 to have it this turn. God, so much has to break our way. We've been so unlucky today. Assuredly, we're due, right? This is the match. None of their cards survive a tropical swing other than Aerodactyl. Alright, we've navigated this game despite a play mistake and bad beats till we have a coin flip to win. It all comes down to this. One shot, one opportunity. And I can't just Erica this turn because the odds they have their second Sabrina here are incredibly high. So it's more likely that we win this flip than it is that they don't have Sabrina. So we're going to take the flip for the round here. Can I get some heads in the chat? Can I get some heads in the chat? Can we get some heads in the chat? Oh! All right. I officially will not complain about variance for the next 5 minutes at least. Sometimes lucky rubber ducky. I don't know that we deserve to win that one, but we were bound to hit a game-winning coin flip eventually, right? We lost so many others. Notably has 2 copies of Leaf, 1 Sabrina, 1 Giovanni, 1 Blue. No copies of red card to worry about. Pretty stock Pokemon layout here. 5 basics with 1 Mew EX and then Mewtwo and Gardevoir line. We are going first, and we have Execute into Exeggutor EX. That's our ideal opener. Yes, most tournaments are open deck list. I think this is the first time we've had Egg turn 1 on the play in 6 rounds of this tournament, or 7 rounds, or whatever it is. If I hit Sabrina, I might play it here. Alright, don't have to think about that choice right now. Let's go fishing with Pokeball. Another Egg sounds lovely. I guess the downside to this Egg is if they have their 1 Sabrina, they could take a knockout on it. But if they don't have their 1 Sabrina, which is not super likely, we get to evolve it right away, which would be great. We're only through 8 cards here. Missing on heads here sucks because it means we don't threaten lethal next turn, so now we really kind of need to dodge their Sabrina. If we would have hit heads here, the Sabrina would be less of a big deal because then we'd be threatening a knockout on the backswing. Hopefully they just crack us for 50 here. They have the Sabrina. Are they also going to have the Gardevoir on curve? Can I hit my Sabrina and knock out their thing? That would be nice. All right, if they have Gardevoir plus their 1 of Giovanni, we lose. They have no healing in their deck, so if we don't lose the game here, we're in a pretty decent spot. No! Oh, now we're dead to just the Giovanni because they had their Sabrina. All right, 50-50. 1 copy of Giovanni in their deck. They had their 40%er to have their Sabrina. Do they have the 50%er to have their Giovanni? We need 1 of these 2 coin flips to break our way. It's so frustrating. good. That's a good call. So that game was a 1 in 10 for them to hit 3 flips in a row profitably. Mewtwo's unbeatable if they hit their perfect curve. I mean, that last game is a good example of why statements like that are very silly. My opponent had a very strong draw in that last game while having first energy advantage, and I still had 3 separate opportunities for them to miss on a thing and have me win the game despite them having a very strong start. Actually, and again, too many people get caught up on did I win or lose and don't focus on the, okay, well, what breaks happened? How likely was the thing I experienced to have happened in this set? It's really easy to focus on just the result and ignore the, okay, well, what was the likelihood of this happening again? It's evolve and then start working on the Tauros here, and we've got Erica's to keep the Execute healthy. Yeah, no stage 1 for them either. It's a really big deal. Yeah, exactly that. If your opponent had a really good draw and you still had lines to win the game, you're probably in an all right place in the matchup. Obviously, it's a card game and anything can happen, but I think this deck tends to be decent into Mewtwo overall. We lay the smack down here. They're going to make like a tree and leaf here. Wow, okay. It's greedy. It's a shame I don't have Giovanni to take the guarantee here. Do they have Gardevoir or Giovanni? Nope, they're leafing. Okay. And I assume they're going to crack us for 50 with this other Mewtwo. So now the play from here is we get to leaf this Exeggutor out and crack them for 120 with the Tauros. And then they can clear this with Side Drive, and then Exeggutor can clear this, and then they only get a single knockout point from getting this one. Leaf is such a good addition to these Exeggutor decks. That's so powerful. Just want to give up 2 knockout points here. Yeah, Giovanni 1 card late here, unfortunately. They do have a singleton copy of blue, but if they have that, our Giovanni will mean we don't need to flip a coin. They don't have any potion, so their things just have the HP that they have. I do kind of need to draw another Tauros or another Execute here. Otherwise, we die to Sabrina, yeah? No, that's not true, because I can Erica this. Hey, we got the Tauros anyways. I'm gonna say we're 100%. We're in a really good spot here. Yeah, baby egg being a single knockout point is so crucial in spots like this. Your deck is definitely built wrong if you're not playing one of those. So now they need to try and get a knockout with Gardevoir and Ralts, which is pretty unlikely. Going next. I think we're going next. Easton time in the time tournament round. Okay. I'm leaving here with something, yeah. Good variance allotment, taking a tails on the way out the door when we don't need the heads. Anybody else out there is an Amazon Prime enjoyer? You get a free sub every month with that. Leading on the Tauros isn't too bad with the Leaf. We just need these Pokeballs to not hit double Tauros into Mew. We need to hit an egg. So this first one's 50-50, and then this one is 2/3. Oh, missing on the first one makes you sweat. Oh my goodness. I guess our fail state being Mew is still pretty okay in this matchup. If they don't have Gardevoir right away, Mew gives them a hard time. We broke down our egg, maybe they'll break on their ults. Narrator, they were never working on their ults. Bottom, bottom, bottom. Oh my goodness. Bottom, bottom, bottom. Oh my goodness. Oh god. It's fine. We're gonna top deck execute, right? Every time we top deck execute. Drew Big Fig, thank you for the 15 months. Good to see you back from the Magic Arena era. Thanks for the support. If they don't have second Mewtwo, okay, that means they can't set up a second Mewtwo until after we clear something. Okay. And now we've got them in kind of a medium spot where if they clear this with this, we get to take a knockout with this. And if they don't clear this, I get to retreat back to this and start attacking with Exeggutor EX and apply pressure. This play seems like some bull for my opponent. That was their only copy of Sabrina. Don't have red card, they don't have another copy of Sabrina. Is there any reason to play the egg out this turn? It informs their decisions. So, I think with the double Giovanni, we actually evolve into baby egg here, which is another reason to wait to evolve. Because I think the way I lose this is them accidentally taking a 2-point knockout. I like miscalculate something. This gives me more flexibility. So I think we swap this. And then we burn a Giovanni here, because burning a Giovanni this turn means that Exeggutor only needs 1 heads to clear this Mew through a copy of blue. Oh, no, wait, that's not true, right? This is still fine, though, yeah? They've not used Giovanni yet, so there's a good chance our Exeggutor EX dies in one. Haven't played either Erica yet. We need this to be Tails, or I need to draw Erica. Although I suppose they need to burn their Giovanni to clear this with another head. So we hit the Erica, so it doesn't matter. Do I just start charging up Tauros at this point? I think so, yeah, because I want to threaten a big burst of damage from a non-EX Pokemon. And if I want to attack with this, it only takes 1 energy. Cranky Banks, thank you for the baker's dozen. I appreciate the 13 months. Welcome back. So they have to retreat to Gardevoir now, right? Same difference. And again, they don't have another Sabrina, so I don't need to play out the other Execute, letting them know I have it. I don't think there's any reason to take a coin flip to win the game here. So if I take a coin flip to win the game, they can kill me with a Giovanni on the Exeggutor EX, so no reason to get overly aggressive here. All right, if they don't retreat this, Exeggutor EX with Giovanni and Mew are both lethal on it. So this is just them switching to the other Gardevoir. Leaves us in the exact same spot we were previously. Oh, I suppose without the second Erica, the Psyshock kills me in 2. But with the second Erica, I think we're locked up here. They just have no healing or sustain other than their 1 copy of blue, and we have our Giovanni to counter that at any point. Open deck lists are far more skill testing than closed deck lists. It really gives you a ton of agency to outplay your opponent, instead of just getting blown out by surprise nonsense. All right, here's the Mewtwo. And I think they're just hoping that we don't have the, what's it called? Their out is hope the Giovanni's in my bottom 2 cards, but it's not, so we're done here. Tom's one of the OGs. I believe Tom's the second longest Hoglandia sub after Tubos. Opponent shuffled around a lot here, but ultimately they're gonna go down. Let's just drag the right supporter out here. Oh, don't play Professor's Research, yep. Good night. I take a breath after that one. Good stuff. Thank you, Mew.